Good morning, Baltimore, and all people that are up watching me at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hello, everyone. This is Audrey Codner, and I'm your lovely host of Ask Audrey. So, we're asking basically the main question: life outside the classroom. Okay. I know I can sit here and I can talk. Hello, guys. Thank you for coming in. This is awesome. Just switching up my times a little bit, see what goes on. But I just really just want to share with you, like, most of my life, I was following in someone's footsteps. Yeah, being transparent, I was always following someone's footsteps. It's either my parents, or it was my colleagues, or it was some of my friends. And everyone's always saying, like, "Oh, Audrey, you got to be a natural, strong leader." Yeah, we've all followed in someone's footsteps. But then eventually, we want to create our own path. So today, I keep seeing, especially this morning, just before I came on, I'm noticing a major increase. And especially right now, teachers are either getting their classrooms ready or the morning bell is about to ring in about 2 minutes. And we're all making copies, getting our classroom situated. And for one moment, we just did that last breath before that bell rings. And I remember those times. But I'm starting to see an increase of the same conversation, regardless of the platforms, by a lot of teachers. They're tired. They're asking about what is life on the other side. So it just seems like a lot of people are asking, well, it seems like the grass is greener on the other side. But is it? Is it really greener on the other side? Like, Audrey, are you really living the life? And I'm like, I'm living a pretty decent life. But here's the thing, it's not always going to be so much easy as you think it is, or easier as you think it is. And I always say, like, hey, the grass may seem greener on the other side because there's a lot more manure being used. Just like when people said, well, you asked to be a tutor, like you asked to teach, or like that was your profession. That's what you went to school for. And I'm like, yeah. But the powers that be, especially the recruiters, they do a lovely job of just making it so sweet. It's like a sultry lover in the night? Like they come up to you and say, "Hey, you'll get your summers off," or "Hey, you'll have your weekends anytime you want." Or this is cracking me up by doing this. I just want to let you know. Or something as sweet as, "You can teach whatever you want to teach. All you have to do, and there's some opportunities for you to raise some money." Or, "Hey, you can do it for the kids." Or my favorite, "You come in, we'll give you something that's called steps. You could raise that pay, girl." And you're like, "Ooh, all right." And then you get in it. Yeah, totally not. All of a sudden, 2 years later, they stop the steps. Then you're stuck at the same pay range for years. Yeah, you have opportunities to raise some money, but $30 and you got 40 kids in the classroom by doing some kind of weird project thing. So I can see why a lot of people are like, you know what? I need to get out. So today I'm going to actually talk about my side, my vision of what is life like outside the classroom. So if you are here live, hit hashtag live. If you're here for the replay, hit hashtag replay because it helps with the algorithm. Yeah. So I know I'm usually here in the evenings, but I just said, you know what? Let me come in the morning. Let me speak to some of the teachers just before they're about to start their day. And I get it. So I know teachers want to leave, but let's take a pause. The other day, I was reading a post, and this lady, she just sounded desperate. So desperate that she made it anonymous. And I know it's a woman because she contacted me later. So she made an anonymous post. And she said, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm about to lose my mind. Everything is just completely mad, crazy. They're talking about I have to do so much with discipline. And I'm like, why am I doing discipline? I should be teaching. And she just basically said, I need to quit. What and then this is the famous question that gets me. What should I do? Response, response, response all said the same thing. You should go. You should leave. You should have left last year. This is it. Yeah, leave, pack your stuff, run. But it was easy to say that. Easy, quick response, run, leave, go, quit. That's it. But for me, I need more. So the one thing that I notice, why should I say run? I don't know her situation is. I don't know what exactly she wants to do. Maybe this was the only thing that she wanted to do. Maybe her finances can't take her leaving right here, right now. So I always want to do extra things because I'm an extra person. I want to ask questions. What is it? What's happening? Because it's easy to tell somebody to leave a profession that they worked so hard to be because times have changed. It is not easy whatsoever. But with all of this, it has to be mentioned that we can't just tell people to up and quit. We don't know what's happening with their lives. So I always like to say, well, these are some of the things that I like to do in order to survive. So we're going to get right to it. So, first thing, or actually, I'll do a little countdown, David Letterman style. Why not? So, for number three, one of the things that kept me going is now I'm starting to get to know myself fully. And a lot of people are like, Audrey, what are you talking about? I'm like, come on, stop for a second. You're on Facebook. You're probably a teacher sitting on Facebook trying to find some inspiration for you to keep going in the classroom for today because you know you're going to have that kid in your class that's going to like pluck that nerve. And you're like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. But you're coming onto Facebook or you're coming on Instagram or you're on LinkedIn trying to find inspiration. Yeah, been there, done that. In about an hour from now at my last place, I will be crying because that's basically what I do. But in order for me to basically survive, I had to make that transition. It was a mindset shift. So for me, I just really had to understand Audrey. I needed some quality time for me. So another way is when was the last time that you actually sat somewhere? No kids, no significant other, no parents, nobody, no friends knocking on your door, talking to you, phone buzzing, have to do a million thing to do lists, and you only can get one thing done. When was the last time you actually sat down in a quiet place and just took an inventory of yourself? Some people say, oh, I did it this morning when I meditate. But how long did you meditate for? What did you come from that meditation? Was it just to calm you down to get you prepared to pump yourself back up? Or did you say, you know what? I'm really good at this. I never really thought I was good at this. Or I really this is the first time that I actually looked myself in the eye in the mirror. Like we'll pass each other in the night, you know, and when you're in the bathroom and you see like a mirror, like, okay, what's this? And you always see all your flaws. I'm like, oh, I got bags on my eyes. Oh, I'm getting these things. I don't know what that is. Oh, what's this? Am I getting hair? Am I growing a goatee? You know, I'm 51. Things happen. So with all those things, you're just like, have you ever just sat, looked in the mirror, and looked yourself right in your pupils and said something positive about yourself? Have you ever, like, really just stopped and just reflect on all the things that you've done, either writing it down or making, like, a vlog or just even just looking yourself in the mirror and telling yourself those things that you've done? I never really did that. I was a person that you gave me a task, I did it, and I kept going. It was never like, "Oh, let me just stop here." I always had to do something extra because I really wanted to be memorable, or I wanted to make sure I have like a test that hits on every target. I want to make sure that I had the classroom that stimulated every part of a child's brain, but I didn't do that for me. So before I could even make that shift, I had to know a little bit about Audrey and to figure out her strength before I can actually make that major jump into the next realm. So, by spending some quality time looking at your value, looking at your gift, because a lot of people think that teachers just teach. It's a talent, people. They got to learn how to balance, they got to learn to organize, to do events, to know how to talk to children when they're up, talk to them when they're low, talk to them when they're in between. Because when you're thinking that, "Oh, okay, that conversation that I had with my child, that's over and done with, we're moved on." No, that's still lingering in your child's head. So, when we look at these things, as we give so much to others, we need to kinda take a moment and be kind to ourselves. So that's number 3. Number 2, I kinda did a sneak peek. Organize it. So you're probably saying, "Audrey, what's it?" Well, it is what you want it to be. It could be a career. It could be your classroom. It could be your setting. You need to get organized. And you're like, well, I'm not really an organized person. Well, then hire someone that was a former teacher that can help organize it. I have a friend of mine who retired, and she's actually starting a business by helping teachers either organize their classrooms, create very interactive bulletin boards, things that teachers really don't have time for because they have to do a lot of administrative stuff. But it was an idea. And then she just organized it in her brain. What does it look like? Is it something that's need? Does she, go out and talk to other teachers and see would that be something that they would love to have, a resource that they would love to have? Whatever it is, you want to sit down and just get your thoughts together. This is why having a journal is so important. By when you guys have all these journals and putting things in and organizing your lives, this is what makes it so much fun. But then that last part, this is what helped me survive. I really needed to, oops, act on it. You need to act on what you want to do. We need to create your own path. Just like what I said earlier. For years, I basically just followed everybody else's path. I found a great teacher at my very first school that I went to. I found a great teacher and I tried to model that teacher. You always hear Oprah Winfrey said, when I first started, I basically followed Babs. Everybody knows Babs. Okay. Everybody wanted to be Barbara Walters. She tried to even talk like her and have the same diction like her. But then eventually you change your own path. You create your own path. You put your own spin on it. If I may talk like as a tutor, there's so many tutors out there that are just like me. There's so many tutors that are better than me, that are skilled like me. But then here's the thing, they're not me. Just like I'm not you. It's nice that I come on lives and just try to change things up a bit. But when it comes to talking and discussing, and I know I'm getting like a request from tutoring with Maya, and I would love to have that, but I can't because that's Instagram and then I won't be able to get it on Facebook. It's a mess. It's a crazy thing. So just DM me, we'll talk later and we'll bring you on. But when it comes down to creating my own path, I had to put actions into it. I really do. I have to not only just sit and pray on it, like I have to put it in perspective. I have to put some kind of action to it because if not, I'm going to still keep on the same path as everyone else. I don't want to do that. And sometimes people are like, "Hey, I already have like a good sense of calm, Audrey. Like I feel centered, I feel really good, like all the stuff that you're mentioning, I don't feel that at all." I'm like, "Okay, cool. You're one of the rare ones. Praise. Do it." But then I want to ask you this question or basically make this statement. Like, because you know who you are, or is it because you're just blending in? Do you feel that sense of calm because you know exactly who you are and I know how I am and you're one of the rare ones? Or did you have to take a few steps back just to blend in with everyone else and then you feel a sense of calm because you're not going against the wave? I've done that in multiple places. And of course, that's me, but I'm here to be transparent. I basically went to schools and I said, this is nice, but we could organize this a lot better. And a lot of people are either threatened by that or the fact that we don't want to change because we've been dealing this whole school thing or the system for a long time. And we're not going to just have some other person come in here and try to disrupt. So I had to, before I knew it, I took a couple steps back and I didn't know it until I came across one of my old notebooks that I used to do when I had like a document camera and I'm able to do my notes that way. And I looked at my notes and I was like, wow, look how organized this is. Look at this. Look at that. Oh my, this is awesome. And then I looked at my notes that I was about to present that day. It was the same topic, but the presentation was lackluster. So I really had to take a step back and say, you know what? I need to get myself together. I really and truly need to create my own stuff. So when I see teachers are saying like, "What's life like outside the classroom?" I said, "There's a lot of good times. I'm able to organize my own schedule. Look, I used to be in the evenings, now I'm in the morning for this. And I can talk to many people from different parts of the world. And it's not like I couldn't do that when I was in the classroom, but now I can. And now I'm also tutoring kids from all over the country. 1 minute, prime example is yesterday. 1 minute I'm in Maryland. The next minute I'm in California. I don't know. I think it was a homeschooling. And then the next minute, because I was all over the place, I'm in Florida, and then I was in Florida again, and then Massachusetts, which was a late night, and then back to Maryland again. All that in one day. It's kind of cool. But at the same time, it takes work. It takes work for me to promote myself. As I grow, I don't have to promote as much because now I'm letting my hard work that went into those students that are seeing such great turns, they're promoting my business. As I always say, they're the ambassadors of my business. So eventually I won't have to do as much marketing. I'm not doing as much marketing for my business as I do. And right now I'm fully booked. Fully booked. But knowing me, if you call me, I will find the spot for you. I always do. So these are some of the things that really helps me get to know myself, think about what I want to do, and then organize it. So for me, I wanted to stay in education. No matter what, I truly believe in education. If you didn't have someone to teach you something, then you're not going to know how to do it. Sometimes your teaching may not be a physical person. It might be a recording of a person that's on YouTube, or maybe a video that you've seen that's people are promoting their webinars and their courses and so forth. But no matter what, knowledge is still happening because we're constantly doing new things. And I know learning by doing is annoying, but it is useful. But then here's the other side of the coin. Let's flip it. So those are the things that helped me to basically be effective, but don't do the following. All right. You're emotional. Okay. We're all emotional. We get to that point. I want to be done. I want to be over with. Do not go on social media, as I say this, because it feeds my fuel, to publicly bash your school, bash your colleagues, bash your administrators, because you know what? It's going to bite you in the butt later. Every place that I have transferred over to, I tried to transfer over at a good spot. I know we all want to have that hard nose, put the sunglasses on. You got the key in the ignition, you turn it up, you're making donuts in the parking lot, you're speeding off and you're like, woohoo! And you're like flipping people off. Or you're going to a meeting and you're done. They're like, you know what? F you, forget you, you're cool, forget you. Everybody wants to have that moment, walking out, just like raise it up. If you're in the States, one finger. If you're overseas, two. But don't do that. Because no matter what, if you're thinking about doing a business, that's going to carry over to you. If you're thinking about transferring to another school or maybe something that is, you don't know where your path's going to go. All of a sudden, you show up and the person that you flipped off is now your new boss. Great. Great. Don't bash it. It doesn't make any sense. And then the other one, number 2, don't ask strangers what you should be doing next. We don't know your passion. We don't know your heart. If we knew your passion, we knew your heart, we can give you sound advice. If you just want to get a list of different careers that are great for former teachers, type that into a search. If you're just doing it to get likes, okay, I appreciate it. I'll back off. But if you want true sound advice, don't go there. Just let it go. And then lastly, this is the most important. Don't sell yourself short. Everyone talks about imposter syndrome. The only difference between fear and excitement is your perspective. So, how you perceive it, that's what's going to occur. So, don't sell yourself short. Oh, I'm just starting, so I better put it at a low price to attract more people. No. Are they going to be your ideal clients? No, they're not. And it doesn't matter what business you're doing. It doesn't matter what skill set you're presenting. Do not sell yourself short. I look at it from a teacher slash tutor perspective that I know a little bit more of that content area than some of my parents because they haven't seen it in how many moons, right? So now they're like, okay, I don't know what to do. You're there to solve a pain point, you're there to cover that situation. But for you to do that, you're already a step ahead of the game. So why are you selling yourself short? Why are you only charging a bare minimum? And you won't be able to keep that business going because you're behind on your rent and your mortgage. You're behind on your electricity. You need that. You need the internet. You need a new computer. You need to make sure people can see you with the camera. If you got to hit the thing and sacrifice a chicken before you turn on your computer and you pray that that's not the smoke where it's coming from, you're going to have to do some things to kind of keep things going. So by doing that, don't sell yourself short. Even if you're still in the classroom right now, oh, I'm not that good of a teacher because I'm comparing myself to other people. No, you may be on the same path because you guys are educators, but you need to create your own path, create your own scene, create your own feel by being you. That's all you can do. I feel like I'm getting all these clients because I'm who I am. I'm a caring person. I give. I give a lot. Sometimes I give a little too much, but I like to give because I'm, if I may be selfish, I love seeing the good out of people. But no matter what you're about to do, I just want to share this one last thing. The hardest part is to get started. So if you're teaching and you're thinking about leaving, stop for a moment, calm yourself, Write the things down that you know are the positives. Start with that. Start with the pros. We can easily list the cons. We'll list the cons for days. But what is a pro? And can that pro be presented in a different light? Because jumping from school to school, all you're doing is carrying that cancer from school to school to school. It's not doing anything. So maybe you might have to do some other ventures. Start looking while you're employed. Okay. Don't wait until you're about to quit and then you're like, oh, what am I going to do now? Because then you're putting yourself in a financial bind and now you're putting more stress on yourself. And then the worst part is when someone walks by your classroom and yells in there, you'll be back. You don't want to go backwards in life. You want to move forward. This is the only life that you have. So make a decision. Okay. So that's it for me. And I just basically want to say, besides the hardest part, we're having so many different events that's coming up. And I am so grateful for all the people that are participating, for people that are just basically supporting me, help me keep my sanity. I greatly appreciate you. So for one of the announcements is tomorrow at 11, no, at 2 o'clock. I keep saying 11 because I had to switch everything. Tomorrow for Two Tutors Talking, I have Miss Kara Cook. She's from Just to Imagine Tutors. So I'm going to go live with her at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk a little bit about her business, her being a New Jerseyan. What? Girl from New Jersey? Gotta love it. And she's living in England right now. And she's teaching their primary students. And we're just going to share a little bit about what she does and how to kind of help parents make the adjustments, give her a couple of tips. Let's see if we can do some things and even just have like a nice little chat. Other announcement, I still have my Facebook group. It is growing. We're at 160 right now. Woo-hoo. Okay. I know a lot of people are like, "That's cute," but for me, that means I have 160 people that believes in my message, that likes what I say, that looks for my advice, and they actually listen. That tells me something great. All right. So if you are, especially a math teacher or a math tutor, and you just want to find a home just to get some resources, we do challenges in there. Actually, we're going to have an event for new people. If you're thinking about tutoring on Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will definitely share the link in my group. It's only for my group members only that they can come with their Q&A. Is tutoring right for me? Okay, tell me about you, or hey, I really want to learn how to do this, or can I do this, or can I really make money from this? And the answer is going to be yes. And there are going to be some no's. I'm not a sugarcoat type of person if you haven't met me before. Okay, so I'm going to give you the real answers. Some things like how many weeks am I actually going to be tutoring? And what should I do on those downtimes if they are downtimes? And how long are those downtimes? Those things, how should I promote myself? How should I get clients? All those questions, bring them to me. If you are really into that, then we also have a monthly collab workday. And again, that's for my team members where I do a quick Q&A. Then you guys get some time to work on something on your business for like roughly 45 minutes to an hour. And then we come back and you get feedback on the work that you just did. What? So you don't have to do this by yourself. So I'm going to be doing that monthly. It's like the last Saturday of every month. So if you want, and that sounds very intriguing, go ahead and join. So here's my little clue with the Facebook group. It is From the Classroom to Online Tutoring Virtual Community. So you just go ahead and sign in. Make sure you hit those 4 questions. If you don't want to give me your email because you don't want me to email you every 2 seconds, but guess what? I don't have time to email you every 2 seconds. If I haven't emailed anyone yet. So I don't want to harass. I want to support. Okay. So, and lastly, even though I'm fully booked, you never know because I have people that are just going to be here for their PSATs. So they're just using my skill set right now just to get them ready. but eventually they're going to leave. So what's going to happen? I'm going to have some spots open. So if you want to join maybe my waiting list, I never thought I would ever say that, but here we are. This is what happens in year 4. Okay? So if you're looking for an online math tutor, I go from 7th grade all the way up to adults, and we break down concepts. I'm looking at what you have, I'm looking at what you know, and then I fill in the parts that you don't know. So if you're not strong with factoring and you have to do something that's going to require you to factor, guess what? I'm going to teach you how to break that stuff down. It's more like I'm like the translator of your current instructor. So I take a look at how that teacher is instructing it, and I break it down to show you why you're doing this step, why you're doing that step. So if that sounds intriguing, go ahead and just hit me up. Let me take this off and let me take this off. So you can go to my solo 2 dash ACG math tutoring. That has all my information, all my social medias, even my TikTok. I have no shame. Everything's out there. Okay. So you can reach me, you can text me, you can email me, but whatever you do, just make sure it's all about tutoring. Gentlemen, no. Okay. All right. So that is the closure for me. Go ahead, message me, join me for my Facebook group. Thanks again for joining me here on Ask Audrey. If there's something that you want me to address, go ahead and message me and say, "Hey, Audrey, what's your feelings about blank?" And don't just put blank, like fill in the blank. And then I might actually put it up on here. Hey, I might even welcome you in and we can chit chat from there. But don't forget my two tutors talking. If you want to, you can go to YouTube. I'm on their music app for their podcast to get all of my two tutors talking. I think this is episode number 21. What? This is cray cray. All right. But it's also fun. Okay, guys, have a great morning. Have a great day. And don't forget, stay awesome. All right. Bye.